Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. We are from second group, and today we will doing presentation about principle of geology and Indonesia's sedimentary basins. Our team members are Dini Dwi Arvini, and, my friend Oki Pradika Riyadi, and Rizza Fajri. The outline of our presentation includes an overview of Indonesia's 128 sedimentary basins, reserve classification and its sub-classification, project maturity, and the search to trap concept. We will also discuss challenges in energy evaluation, including risk, reserves, and expected monetary value. Finally, we'll end with conclusion and recommendation. Now, let's start with the first topic, Principle of Geology and Indonesia Sedimentary Basins. Geology is guided by several key principles. First, uniformitarianism, which tells us that the geological process we see today also occurred in the past, meaning the present is the key to the past. Second, superposition, which states that in undisturbed rock layers, the oldest layers lies at the bottom and the youngest at the top. Third, original horizontality, which explains that sedimentary layers are originally deposited horizontally, and any tittling or folding show lateral geological movement. This principle helps geologists reconstruct the history of rock formation and identify potential hydrocarbon zones. Next, we have a cross-cutting relationship, which states that any future cutting across another rock layer must be younger than the one it cuts. Faunal section use fossils to correlate rock layers and estimate their relative age. And finally, plate tectonic, which explains the movement of Earth's lithospheric plates. In Indonesia, the collision of the Indo-Australian, Pacific, and Eurasian plates has shaped the country's complex geology and create numerous sedimentary basins, many rich in oil and gas. Indonesia has a total of 128 sedimentary basins spread across the archipelago. These are classified in three groups: tertiary basins, mainly in western Indonesia and rich in hydrocarbon; pre-tertiary basins, mostly in eastern regions with older rock formation; and mixed basins that spans both geological eras. Some of most productive basins are found in North, Central, and South Sumatra, in Northwest and Northeast Java Sea, in the Kutai and Barito basins of Kalimantan, and in Bintuni, Seram, and Banggai in eastern Indonesia. Each basin has its own geological character and petroleum potential. For example, the Sumatra basins are well known for mature source rock and established infrastructure. The Java Sea basins contribute significantly to offshore production. Kalimantan basins like Kutai and Barito are rich in gas and coal, while eastern Indonesia hosts frontier basins such as Bintuni and Seram, will promising new discoveries. Understanding these basins help geologists assess where hydrocarbon may have formed, migrate, and accumulate, which the first step toward the reserve estimation and development.
Project maturity in the petroleum resource management system. 2018 classified projects based on their technical and commercial readiness across three main resource classes: reserve, contingent resource, and prospective resource. Projects in the reserve category are the most mature, including those already on production, approved for development, or justice for development. Contingent resource involve projects that are technically viable but face uncertainties such as development pending, on hold, unclarified, or not viable due to market, regulator, or technical constraints. The least mature as prospect resource, which represent early exploration stage such as play, lead, and prospect, where potential hydrocarbons are identified but require further data. As project progress through this stage, uncertainty decrease and the chance of commercial success increase. The source to trap concept explains the 5 key elements required for conventional petroleum accumulation: source rock, migration, reservoir, trap, and seal. Hydrocarbon are generated in the source rock, which is rich in organic material and buried deep enough to experience heat and pressure. Through primary and secondary migration, this hydrocarbon move upward along porous and fractured pathway into reservoir rock, such as sandstone or limestone, which can store fluids. A trap is a concave geological structure that holds the hydrocarbon in place, while a seal or cap rock typically sell or evaporate, prevent them from escaping further upward. Within the reservoir, distinct zones of gas, oil, and water form based on density difference. The petroleum system will only be commercially viable if all 5 elements occur together and are properly aligned in 3 dimensions. Valuing oil and gas companies is particularly challenged due to several key factors. First, price volatility in global energy market makes future revenues highly uncertain. Second, uncertainty in reserve estimate affect projection of production and long-term value. Third, geopolitical risks as conflict or trade restriction can disrupt operation and supply chains. For regulatory change related to environmental policy or taxation can significantly impact profitability. Finally, technological disruption include advancement in renewable energy or extraction technologies, can alter competitive dynamic and asset value. To address this challenge, valuation methods like net asset value or NAV and discontinued cash flow or DCF are commonly used to assess company value by incorporating reserve risk and project cash flow. Valuing oil and gas company is complex due to multiple challenges such as price volatility, uncertainty in reserve estimate, geopolitical risk, regulatory change, and technological disruption. This factor create instability in revenue forecast, impact operational feasibility, and influence long-term planning. To address this challenge, valuation methods like stock price and market capitalization are used, where investors analyze the reserve to production ratio to gauge sustainability and balance between core output and future reserve. Additionally, reserve valuation is applied to unproven or high-risk reserves by incorporating geological and commercial risk factor, offering investors a more realistic assessment of potential value and probability of success in exploration project.
So thank you. Next we will actually continue the slide. In slide 10 we have the resource valuation flow charts. The valuations of petroleum resources follow a systematic multi-step process that begins with geological assessment. In the initial stages, geoscientists will evaluate fundamental parameters such as source rock maturity, resource quality, migration pathways, and also trap integrity. These geological factors form the foundations of risk analysis as proposed by Otis and also Schneiderman in 1997. Once the geological probabilities are established, volumetric estimates are translated into form and risk reserve, representing total potential volume, and risk reserve adjusted by the probability of success. This structure process ensures that exploration investment are guided not by intuition alone, but also by quantifiable metrics of uncertainty and opportunity. Ultimately, the workflow leads toward the calculations expected monetary value or EMV, a crucial step for determining whether an exploration project is economically and technically feasible or not. Okay. So we are going to the next slide. The EMV or expected monetary value is a probabilistic decisions analysis technique that is integrated geological uncertainty with financial outcome. It measures the expected financial return by multiplying the probability of success and failures with their corresponding gains or losses. For instance, if a project probability of success is moderate but the potential reward is high, EMV helps determine whether the risk-adjusted outcome remains attractive. This concept bridges the gap between geoscience and also economics, transforming complex geological data into actionable investment criteria in petroleum explorations. EMV enables decision makers to compare alternative strategies such as direct drilling versus preliminary survey acquisition. By quantifying uncertainty, EMV provides a rational foundations for explorations planning, ensuring that every financial decision is grounded in statistical logic rather than speculations. Okay, we came to the next slide. This slide illustrates how the EMV framework can guide exploration strategy and also capital allocations. When a company choose direct drilling without a prior survey, they assume that uh, they will have the full burden of risk. If the well is dry or there's nothing there, the entire investment become a sunk cost. In contrast, incorporating a 2D or 3D seismic survey before drilling allow for better geological interpretations and more accurate success probabilities. Although the survey adds an upfront cost or another cost, it often reduces the likelihood of a total project failure by identifying non-viable prospect earlier. As the EMV calculations show, a project that includes survey stages generally produce a higher expected value despite slightly higher initial expenditure. This demonstrates how informed exploration decisions backed by data and also the probability can enhance the capital efficiency and also reduce the uncertainty in petroleum ventures. So let's take a look into the EMV scenario table. The table actually compares to exploration scenario. First is the direct drilling versus the survey based drilling, uh, whether it's 2D or 3D. Through EMV computation, the survey based approach exhibit a smaller expected loss and a higher probability of commercial success. This difference underscores the importance of integrating geological evaluation into financial decision making. In essence, the survey function as strategic filter. It refines the geological model, validate the trap presence, and also allow the early withdrawal from non-productive ventures, such as an approach aligned with risk management principle in exploration economic, ensuring that corporate capital is deployed efficiently. Therefore, adopting a EMP-based decision framework promotes sustainable explorations, reducing speculative spending, and align geoscience with economic realism. So here's the conclusions. Indonesian geological complexity encompassing more than 128 sedimentary basins present both vast opportunity and also an analytical challenge. The integrations of fundamental geological principle with reserve classification standards such as PRMS 2018 enable a systemic evaluation from source to trap. Applying EMV based analysis further enhance exploration's efficiency by quantifying risk and also optimizing investment decisions. The findings demonstrate that the prior data acquisition, including 2D and also 3D seismic survey, significantly can mitigate financial loss and also improve project certainty. In conclusions, a balanced combinations of geological understanding, economic assessment, and also probabilistic risk analysis provide the most effective path toward sustainable hydrocarbon explorations and also national energy resilience. So here is some of the recommendations based on the study. Several academic and practical recommendations are proposed. First, Indonesia's future exploration program should consistently apply risk-based valuation frameworks such as EMV and risk reserve modeling to optimize resource allocations. Second, enhanced data acquisition through seismic, geochemical, and geophysical survey should be prioritized to refine subsurface interpretations. Third, alignment with PRMS 2018 and also Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources reporting standard will ensure international transparency and also regulatory compliance. Fourth, sustainability must remain central, integrating environmental and also social consideration with exploration strategy. Finally, long-term success depend on capacity building, continuous training in basin analysis, resource evaluations, and also digital geoscience technologies. Together, these strategies promote efficient, ethical, and forward-looking energy development for Indonesia's futures. So here is some reference that I use to make we used to make these slides, as you can see. Well, this one is also another references that we actually use. And last but not least, this study reminds us that geology is not only about understanding the Earth history, but also about shaping our energy future. Through disciplined analysis and responsible decision making, exploration can advance both scientific knowledge and also national resilience. Thank you for your kind attention, and let us continue exploring, evaluating, and evolving towards sustainable energy development. Thank you, Pak Nugroho Adi Susongko, as our lecturer for fossil energy technology. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.